Hello, good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Ladies of Lore. I am your Dungeon Master, Kayla. I'm glad that you are joining us for a repick up of our story. Thank you for coming back. We're really excited to pick up where we left off. Thank you for joining us on Fate and Fables. This is our D&D 5e actual play where our adventures are all exploring a homebrewed version of life after death as they trek through my version of the Nine Hells. And I'm going to pass it over to Tiffany for a few announcements and then we'll get started.
Okay, so we have a couple of really big ones. The first biggest one is that we are all going to Maryland at the Gaylord because we have all very sapphic hearts in August because we're going to be cosplay ambassadors for the first ever fantasy book convention called Once Upon a Convention. We're going to be hosting the D&D meetup on Saturday. We're going to have all kinds of literally anything coming over to take pictures and say hi at, if you're familiar with KatsuCon, the one and only gazebo. So you may ask yourself, how do I get to this convention? Well, that's amazing because we're giving away 2 free tickets. You just have to follow us here on Twitch and Instagram. And I think I also said YouTube. Like the Instagram post. Cruz will link that Instagram post, won't you, Cruz?
Sure.
And
All
then
right.
you're also going to share it on your story. So that's pretty cool if you want to come see us.
Yeah, and it's
Uh,
going to be an awesome con, so we're super duper excited.
yeah, there's going to be like masquerades, but not like your typical like anime masquerade. I'm talking masks, ball gowns, suits, women in suits. Am I right? Friday and Saturday night, and then also raves and all kinds of cool panels. So if you're into books like ACOTAR or Once Upon a Broken Heart, or really any kind of fantasy, fiction, or romantasy book, you'll probably want to go. There's even going to be some D&D games playing. That's what I heard, at least. I don't know.
That's what I heard, at
That's what I
least.
heard too. And then, as always, we have a little discount code with Modern Artifice. They make amazing dice and TTRPG accessories. So if you go over to his website, modernartifice.com, get whatever you want, and then put in that discount code, the Ladies of Lore 10, you'll get 10% off.
Hey.
And that is all of my announcements.
Nice.
And we have Emily with the recap.
All right. A bit of a longer recap since
It's been a while.
it's been a while. Okay. So we started on the ship deck as Rogan calls Manya by the name Ravina and embraces her. Kega and Darcy question if Manya is really this Ravina person. Manya tells Darcy off, and Regan shoves Darcy overboard. Lova and Mari jump into the okay. Lova and Mari jump into the spat and try to save Darcy, but are unsuccessful with Mari's spell getting countered by Manya and Lova failing to grab Darcy. Lova turns her rage to Rogan and punches him. The standoff ensues with Mari and Lova ready to fight, Manya protecting Rogan and Kega with her firearms pointed at everyone. Dahlia, me, persuades Kega to back down and everyone lowers their weapons. Kega clocks Rogan with her pistol and Manya calls for her to stop. Everything cools down and Kega calls the crew to begin to set sail and orders Manya and Rogan to follow her below deck. Umbrielle notices the crest of Jameson's armor and it reminds her of the dream she had last night. When Kit was leading us to the ship, she had a conversation with Azzy about her leaving and asking him to come say goodbye to her. As the ship starts to leave, she reaches out again but hears no response. Mari goes to talk and comfort her. As they talk, Mari spots Azzy and Verena running to the ship to say goodbye. Kit calls down to him to tell him she'll see him again soon. Below the ship, in the captain's quarters, Vanya talks with Kega and Rogan. Manya reveals she killed Kega, and Kega snatches the compass from her. Kega's heart within withers and turns to dust. Up top, the group is introduced to Wanda, a voluptuous elf. She tells us we're heading to Vampirkog, or near it, which is a rumored domain of automaton souls. Uh, We hear shouting. Wait. We hear shouting from below, and Mari shadow steps to the door, and Dahlia runs after, but is stopped by a hold person from Wanda. Mari makes it below deck. Manya continues pleading with them, then discovers that they are very close to each other. Kega offers Manya to be their navigator. They leave. They leave her in the room, and she inspects a book on Kega's desk. And we end with her unable to conjure magic. All right, that's it.
That is perfect. That's right where we will pick up. It feels like an eternity under deck as you just kind of lose yourself to the monotony and listening to a bit of like the waves crashing into the deck, but it almost sounds drone like as you are dissociating and losing yourself in the space. Um, After you peer into the book, um, probably I'd say a little bit later, um, you do hear a small rap on the door. Um, Above deck, we see a little bit of movement from the crew as they try and settle in with the fact that there are new people and people that they are transporting. You can hear the hustle and bustle beneath the ship of different voices, still kind of having hushed conversations, as well as the brawny and ornery like bantering of the ship and shipmates across the deck. Currently, there is a moment where Wanda is trying to check on the captain last that I remember, and she was making her way down the stairs towards underneath the deck. Um, Give me 1 second.
I think Mari had a conversation with Jameson down there, and then she was able to
Mm-hmm.
like get away.
That is, yep, that's what I was looking at right here. So it looks like Marisol was in the process of talking to Jameson and was trying to see if there was any way that she could kind of get out of that circumstance, and he leads her back up to the top of the deck. Um, as all of this is going on, when you hear the rap on the door, Manya, um, it it is only a moment before you hear the voice. May I come in? Are you ready to speak?
Um, I'm pretty sure last time I left her just kind of. I think eventually she paced around like the whole room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we
Oh,
get the
give me one
dog.
second. Yep.
We interrupt the story to introduce you guys to our mascot. We love him. His name is Gus.
Gustavo.
He's
Gustavo.
it is Gustavo. He's kind of an asshole. He had a lot of he did a lot of fights. Hey. Hey. Yeah, come here.
Gustavo. It's so funny because he was completely quiet for me when I was working.
Everyone say hi to Gustavo.
Gustavo. Kayla, you're muted, bubs.
Typical. I was just saying, that's our dog. Say hi to our mascot. um,
So
I
Manya
apologize.
was
Yeah, she was
pacing.
pacing. I think she is currently sitting on the floor. So I do think that like he is met with a silence, but there is like probably like some little weepies.
Okay. Uh, he will wait for permission for a moment, and then when there is no answer, he will stick his head in and just clear his voice. They're going to request you above deck, and I was hoping to have a word.
Well, I can't kick you out of your own bedroom, so.
He walks in and closes the door behind him and says, I don't know exactly what you recall and what you don't. All I know is what I have in hand for myself. And what I will tell you is that Kega has become increasingly more irritable. So I ask of you, what do you remember?
Not not too much, honestly. I just not a lot. I remember like bits and pieces, some memories of on the boat, and then she like motions this.
Uh, I think he would wait a moment and then take a step closer to where your sound is coming from and like shuffle his feet and pause for a moment and then say, do you remember what happened right before, you know, you passed?
Is he? How close is he?
I'd say like two more steps and he'd be face to face with you, but it's hard for him to judge distance, so he kind of just positioned himself to roughly where he presumes that sound is coming from.
Okay.
But you are sitting, correct? Or
Uh-huh.
are you standing?
No, she's sitting.
Okay.
I think that she probably reaches up and like grabs his hand and kind of like it's not super forceful, but it's forceful enough to be like sit next to me.
Okay. Uh, he feels like the pull down. And I think at first it's kind of hard for him to understand what the motion is as he like puts both hands like on you to try and see if you are trying to like get up, and then he recognizes that this is strictly like a you trying to sit down, not you trying to get up kind of thing. And he will put his back to the wall and then slide down the side of the ship wall.
All I remember about my death is that it was violent. I don't remember details. I just remember being scared.
All right. Well, there's much to discuss then between you and Keka, I suppose. I need you to know she's not quite herself. I don't know what you remember of her, but you seem afraid. Why are you acting afraid of her?
Something doesn't really feel right about her.
Understood. Would you feel more comfortable and safe if you were to sleep in my room tonight, and I were to watch over and make sure that no harm comes to you?
I mean, doesn't she sleep here too?
She does.
Well, I suppose.
I'll sleep on the floor so you don't have to worry, and I'll just keep eye out for you. Or, well, and he kind of motions to his uh, bandage that is obscuring his eyes, and he says, you know what I mean.
Have you always not had those, or?
Uh, and he puts his palm on the top of his eyes, and he puts one hand closer to you, like the arm that you had used to pull him down. He kind of just like takes that same hand and steadies it on your arm. And he's like, you don't remember the before time at all then, I guess.
No, but I'm hoping to remember soon. Everyone else has seemed to have gotten their memories. Mine are just stuck somewhere.
Roll an insight check.
Okay. I don't have my character sheet up, so give me. I'll tell you it's a 16 on the die. Is that good
Okay.
enough?
Yeah, that actually is fine. So you can see his lips stiffen, and there's almost like a sense of disappointment that crosses his face. Um, as you're like studying him, you can see his eyebrows gather towards the center slightly, um, and his chin has a little bit of like a dimpling that happens when he pulls his lip tight. And he says, I'm sure it'll come back to you soon enough.
Or, maybe we could speed this along and you could tell me a little bit. I mean, I may not be able to remember things, but I can read people.
Sometimes here you trade one thing for another, and it's not always a good bargain. There's a cost for traveling with Kega. I'm sure you must know that.
So, because you travel with Kega, you can't tell me what you remember?
I can tell you what I remember. I can't tell you exactly what happened. Just that a series of bad decisions have gotten me here.
Well, I think about a series of bad decisions have gotten all of us here.
I would agree. Above deck, currently, as we step away from the scene, Wanda is in the process of gathering everybody. Well, you guys are going to have to make yourself useful, and I'll tell you that right about now. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has to get done. These are the types of jobs that exist for the ship hands. Seeing as we're traveling with extra people, that just means that work should be a little extra light, in my opinion. So, that's entirely up to y'all what you would like to take on, but there's a whole list of opportunities for you to get yourselves involved in the pirate's lifestyle. So,
Do you know how long the trip is?
well, dang, from one layer to another, it feels like a lifetime, but surely it's only a couple of days sailing, so it shouldn't be too long.
Not a lot of time to learn a new skill.
Well, that's not true. It's just about how good you are at learning, I guess, darling.
I think I'm smart. I don't have my character sheet up. No, just kidding.
You seem smart. uh, you would see that she looks over in the direction of Umbrielle and she says, "Now, you little tiny thing, I think that you would probably do better in the crow's nest area, keeping an eye out. That's going to be working real close with the navigator. You think you got that?"
Aye, aye, Captain. Yeah, I can do that.
Oh, don't. That'll go to my head. She gives you a little nod. uh, Additionally, you see that Jameson, the heavy armored kind of paladin looking fella, um, makes his way back up to deck with Marisol, and they both. Mari looks a little not embarrassed, but slightly perturbed to have this guy keeping an eye on her as he follows behind her, very much like a guard of the ship. Um, you see Mari comes up and he's just behind her, hand on the hilt of his weapon, just following him around. And she looks over and darts a look at your guys' direction, like, this fucking guy. Like, uh, um, and she walks back closer to you guys and she says, "Well, it seems they run a tight ship here."
How tall is this guy?
Not as tall as you.
All right. I forget where Lova was standing during this. By Umbrielle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She's just gonna, she's just gonna like do one of these like, like stand right next to the guy, kind of
Yeah.
be like, yeah, tight ship. Like rolls on the balls of her feet,
Yep.
kind of, just to like intimidate.
You can see your trapezoids when you lift your arms over your head. The back muscles almost like a
Oh
wingspan
yeah, it
coming
looks
out
like
off to the side.
wings.
Yeah, coming out to the side. This
Yeah.
dude is definitely significantly smaller than you. He's a good-looking dude. He's pretty strapped. He's not a half giant.
Yeah.
But
Hell
he's
yeah.
he looking small in comparison next to you. You see the amount of the almost showy offy display of physical prowess doesn't seem to rattle him. He still stands very like tall and on the tips of his toes, kind of holding on to like he's trying to puff himself up slightly, but not particularly like he's intimidated. Just like, oh, we correct in our posture, I'll correct my posture kind of thing too.
Oh my god, are we like flexing in the mirror, Gymfluencer kind
You
of?
guys are both gym bros right now, accidentally. Uh
um,
At this point in time, you see that he produces a small pack of like chewing tobacco, it looks like, from the inside of his breastplate, and you see him put like a wad of it into his mouth. You ever have shred?
more of a creatine gal myself.
I hate it.
There's an Herbalife supplement store that Lova had back in
Yeah,
the colony.
yeah. She's just sitting here eating the chitinous shells of different beasts, trying to get that
Yeah.
creatine in.
I'm picking my tooth with like a oyster shell, like just chewing on it. I actually that's what I'm doing. I do that. Like I reach over and I scrape the side of the ship for all of the barnacles. And
Oh,
I
that's
like
a terrible idea, but okay.
I just pop one in my mouth. I'm like, nope.
Just roll me a con saving throw, real quick.
Hell
Just
yeah,
because
hell
I
yeah,
want to
hell
know.
yeah. Hell yeah, I could do that. I could do that. I totally had my character sheet up.
Why?
Does
What
lesser
are
restoration
you
get rid of poison?
Hold on. I got this. Here we go. Here we go. Character sheet.
This is the episode we find out Lova has a shellfish allergy.
Oh shit!
Oh,
My sympathies, it
Bowser.
sucks.
I got a 13 on that. I do have a +7 con, so
Okay.
that's pretty sweet.
All right. So that's a flat 20. You reach over
No,
the
it's a 13. I rolled a 6.
Oh.
Mm, okay.
But what do I have? You know what? She's not the smartest. She probably fucking go
You
for
reach
it. It's a 13.
you reach over the deck and you go to grab onto like what looks like like a barnacleized oyster kind of stuck together, this congregation of sea stuff that seems to be stuck on the side. And as you reach down for it, you see it's actually calcified bone. You're able to pull it off and pull it up, but it is not like a piece of shellfish as you would have recognized it. It is quite literally a like what looks like skull on the half shell. Like it's
Hell yeah.
partial of a bone. Um
Because I'm not a little bitch, I'm gonna eat it anyways. But I think what happens is a piece of that gets stuck in my teeth like a popcorn kernel for
oh no.
we're gonna say days.
That's horrible, and I hate that for you. And this is why I don't eat popcorn.
I can't wait to see it.
Um, you put it into your mouth, and you immediately feel. I gotta roll a dice. Hold on. Okay. So you immediately feel the essence of a memory of a place that you have no memory of. This spiraling wild swirl of pinks and purples. You feel as if you have this almost magic tickle in the back of your throat. Um, like pop rocks or something that seems to be swallowed down in a strange way. It's just that like tingling fizzing that's happening in the back of your throat right now. And you remember almost like a childlike voice uh, pop into your head, and you hear, "No, I don't want to, Mummy. I don't want to go to school today." And that's it.
Does it sound like my childhood voice or somebody else?
Doesn't sound like you.
Mhm.
That's weird. I pull up, pull the skull out, and I'm like, "Did you say something?"
Uh, as you look at it, you can see. Oh, you're not smart. You're not smart. You can roll for it. Roll me an intelligence check just to see, cause I
Oh,
care. I
jeez.
care. It's fun.
Oh, jeez. That's a 2.
That's a 2. Uh, you look at the skull and you're like, "Wow, did you say something?" And it just stares back at you.
Ugh. Ship's haunted. Toss the skull back.
Ship's haunted is so funny. Um, as you throw it back into the sea of souls, you can see that the remaining watery looking substance reaches for it and they like fight over the piece of it that has been dislodged from the boat.
Ah,
Yeah.
she's haunted too.
Lova, it's the afterlife. We're all ghosts. Of course it's haunted.
Ah, I'm having a moment. Hold on.
Did you
I forgot
forget?
about that,
Did you
John.
forget?
I forgot.
Lova's just gonna keep having ego deaths this whole time. She's like, "Oh my god, I forgot I was dead."
Do you want me to
I heard a
remind you
voice.
every day?
I ate it. Yeah, please, because I ate that, and I heard a voice in my head of a little British child, fantasy England child, saying, "Mummy, Daddy, some mummy, something, whatever you said." I was saying to them,
Yeah.
and then I felt like in the back of my throat. I assume it was the skull. It was the skull's memories. Ah, sorry. I yelled back to the skull.
Uh,
I'm really not having a good time here, Dahlia.
you
I
can
just
hear
pat your arm in sympathy, like, there.
you can hear some shouting from above deck, Manya, as you are in the middle of this moment. Uh, some
Manya's crying.
she's having a full existential crisis, and you are like just
Also
goofing it up
having a full
in a,
existential crisis.
in a different way. In a different way, it's
Oh my
fine.
god.
You see as Wanda kind of looks over to everybody, and says, "Well, I'm assuming y'all gonna want a place to rest for the night. We're gonna be sailing for a while, so why don't y'all bunker down? I suppose." She grabs Dahlia by the arm very softly and begins to kind of lead her in the direction of back down the stairs where they had like where you just saw Mari come from. And she's like, "You're invited to follow us this time." As she looks over, you see Jameson looks and gives like a very smug, sneery kind of like thing. And Mari goes, "Thank you so much for your permission," and starts to follow behind. She touches Kit on the arm and is like, "Come on," and starts to lead Kit as well downstairs. We will pick back up in the room with Manya, uh, in the process of like holding on to Rogan as he discusses this with her.
I think
You know,
while
you
he's
guys. Oh, go on.
I was gonna say while he's talking, I think that she's using her other hand and like slowly bringing pillows down onto the floor from she has no idea which one is his bed. So she has just decided, because I'm sure both beds look horrible. One bed is his, and she's just bringing pillows on the floor and a sheet.
So his side of where you guys would be standing, his room pieces of it, his decor is very different from hers. And it does look like they have like, even though it's a shared room, it's very much split off where his stuff is and where her stuff is. His has almost like this Moroccan type vibe to it. There are these extra like pillows and blankets and like almost like rug like furs that are draped all over his setting here. So everything is lined. His side of the room is entirely covered in furs. The walls are lined with fur. The entirety of the bed is all different separate pillows and blankets. It's already very much nesty. It's not like a bedding. Whereas Kega's side of the room has a like four-poster bed, very fancy silk sheets, very like tassels, gold lining. It's very gaudy duvet, and like all of her stuff is almost secondhand royal, is what it looks like.
Oh yeah, I was over by the fur. I was sitting on the soft floor.
I figured. So, he stands and he says, "If you would prefer to stay with your people, I believe that Wanda's getting everyone settled below deck currently. But if you would prefer to stay in here, I can't be sure that Kega won't try something, but at least I'll be close by."
Well, I killed her once, so I don't think I'm too concerned, to be honest.
What did you say?
Well, I killed her once, so I don't think I'm too concerned, to be honest.
He cracks a smile, but quickly tries to cover that up. Understood. Well, it's entirely up to you. I don't want to force you to. I just miss sleeping next to you.
I'm sorry, what?
He says, "I don't want to force you. I just miss sleeping next to you."
Oh no, I heard. I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's it. You're just going to stop there. I'm going to say what, and you're going to say nothing.
Oh, what else is there to say? Do you not know that we were intimate? At which point you hear the footsteps of all of the people coming down the steps and making their way into the area of which is the residence portion of the ship. Additionally, I would say, because you've heard the footsteps 9,000 times, you know what the footfalls sound like of your prior partners. And with that being said, you know that Keka is also coming down in the same tow, that she is coming down the steps as well. You hear multiple people, and then you hear just like the slow boot falls of hers kind of dragging behind.
Well, it does explain quite a few things, actually. And I think she leaves it at that.
I feel like in this moment, he looks like he's going to say something, and you can tell that he's got like more that he wishes to divulge, but it is cut very much short as she walks back in the room. Rogan, she'll sleep in my bed tonight. I'll stay with you.
No. I'm sleeping here, and he's sleeping on the floor, and you can sleep on your bed.
Roll me an intimidation check.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's good for your sake too.
Where is it? Oh, it's on my phone. Hold on, hold on. It's a 17.
A 17. Excellent. She looks at you and she says, "Is that really what you want?" Almost like she is confused and hurt by that.
Well, there's just I don't know if you were, here just maybe a couple hours ago, but I was here and it was very awkward. So I was just making it less.
I just thought that you deserve to not sleep on the floor like a dog, but that's up to you.
Well, he doesn't have to sleep on the floor. He could sleep in his own bed if he wants. He said the floor, not me.
I was talking about you.
Oh, I'm not on the floor.
She thinks that Rogan is primal in his behaviors. So you can definitely tell she's making a jest.
Well, it wasn't funny. I'm not on the
Haha.
floor. You can't out mean girl me.
That's funny. She says, "Fine." And turns over to Rogan and says, "I guess you're used to that." So, and then she and then she looks over to like the hallway door area and opens the door and says, "Why wouldn't you want to sleep with the rest of your crew?"
Because I just met them like maybe 2 days ago. It's not like I have to be there. Also, why are you so mean? I mean, I understand why you're mean towards me, but why him?
I'm not mean to him.
You just basically called him a dog. That was mean.
She looks at Rogan and she says, "Do you think I'm mean?" And Rogan says, "I try my best not to think about you, Kega."
Well, that probably answers your question.
That definitely makes her, that rubs her the wrong way. You can see that this has built some type of tension between them. There is a secondary notion where she's like, "Wait a minute, motherfucker, you're supposed to be on my side." And you can kind of see the look transition on her face. Rogan, do you remember why you're here? And Rogan looks at her and he says, "Yes, and I remember why you're here too."
Must be nice.
Where are we during this?
You guys are now downstairs and you can kind of hear it's the way that the ship is set up is when you walk down the galley steps, you have the whole under part of the deck has been converted into like a living quarters area. Here everybody has like tiny, not tiny, but like sizably small rooms that are separate and partitioned off from one another, but they are still very much all open in the very centerpiece of it. So it's like a dormitory style almost, in that it's open in the center. Straight continuing down that hall all the way to the front of the ship, that's where the captain's quarters is. And so you can see that the captain's quarters is in like the doors open. They're standing in there. You can see Manya is down there, but it's essentially like a little bit down the hall.
As soon as I go underneath, like go underneath the galley, like the stairs, like the bear,
Mhm.
the what do they call it? The fucking posts. And I see Manya, and he's like, Manya, ship's haunted.
That's so funny.
She is she's very smart. If you can't tell.
You look at Kega, who looks at this giant woman and back at you and says, "Why are you so mean?"
I don't know. I probably learned.
Learned what?
Like, learned it from you. Anyway, I'm sorry, by the way. I don't think
For killing me?
Yes, I don't think I meant to do it.
Okay. I don't forgive you.
Well, that's okay. I'm just letting you know I'm sorry.
I appreciate the apology.
All right, ship's haunted.
Why does she think the ship is haunted? What happened?
The ship is haunted.
Ship's haunted.
Well,
I ate a skull.
why? Why did you? Why would you eat?
Assert my dominance. I don't know, Manya, but ship's haunted. This place is nice.
Look,
I like the furs.
It's
Have you-
cozy.
have you seen your arms? You don't have to assert dominance. You're the biggest thing here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're really nice. You know, there's not a mean bone in your body, Manya.
Oh my god, I know.
I think you might be
thank
the
you.
nicest person I've ever met in my life.
Oh no.
Well, I wish others could say that.
To which Kega looks over at you and extends a hand. I don't think that I got to properly introduce myself under less tense pressures. I'm the captain here.
I'm Lova.
Nice to meet you. You see, she has her hair tied currently in this like black bandana kind of thing, and she takes off the bandana. You can see she's got crazy brown hair. Parts of it are dreaded. Some of it is braided into like really fancy little braids and then hit with a bead, but it looks like they have like since been like pulled out and fallen out. You can see that she has the front of her shirt is permanently stained in this like blood red front. But you can't see any wounds currently on the bare chest that's open. It's just ripped. It looks like behind the collar slightly, like the flesh itself is cut open.
Say less. I lean over to Manya. Do we like this one?
That is-
Depends when you ask her.
I don't remember much, Lova, so I can't give you an honest answer just yet.
All right. Respectful, somewhat distant. I could do that. Your ship's haunted.
Don't let her get too close to you, though, Lova.
Oh,
Yeah, you wouldn't want her jealous.
What?
wait, what? Who's not getting close to me?
The ghost, obviously.
Ah! Let's take a full step back to like Dahlia and Umbrielle.
Lova, we're all ghosts. It's okay.
The thought of Lova
Psychic
being
for-
scared of herself. Ah, ah.
No one you meet is not a ghost. I guess besides our goddess, who's somewhere in between things.
It's all a lot, okay?
Ooh, so
It
spooky.
is all a lot.
Captain, sorry for earlier, and thank you for giving us passage on your ship.
The pleasure is all mine. I appreciate you coming and allowing me my moment of inquisitiveness. I'm sorry for rash behavior. You see, she looks over at Mari and also at Kit, and then at Umbrielle. I guess I should let you guys know where we're headed first. First destination that we will be headed to is the second layer. Typically speaking, it is a treacherous bit of sailing. I want you to know that this is not the same as trekking across normal waters. There's a lot more dangers here, both on ship and off. And so it would be wise to listen to any instruction given to you by your captain. And if you don't, there are consequences.
What happens when people go overboard?
Wanda cuts in and says, torn asunder, before she's even able to. And she says, once you go overboard, you can be ripped apart by the souls, unrestful souls. So it's best for you to keep all four on the floor,
Oh,
so to speak.
that is a lovely death that was picked. Wow. I'm whispering to myself. Don't ignore her.
You see, as she looks over at Kit, she says, "How strange. I've never seen anything like that before."
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Are you staying on ship to go further south, or are you just hopping off with them at the first stop?
Me?
Yeah. Well, because
I
we're destined for Vaporcook eventually, and I wasn't sure if you were considered extra cartel.
I'm not cartel.
She's our
I don't
friend,
think.
Kega.
My apologies. I, again, don't know much about your kind.
Thanks
Though
for
I've seen,
asking me.
yeah, I've seen stuff like you, deeper, but not this
What do
high
you
in the
mean?
realms. Well,
Stuff.
mechanical beings and such.
There are other mechanical beings? Is that what I am?
Yes. Oh, automatons, living machines, things that, are able to be programmed. Again, I don't know too much about them, but I've seen them from time
Like
to
the
time.
ones where we just were? Because
Uh,
I'm different from them, as he told me.
as you who?
Does he have a last name? Would I know his last name?
He does not have a last name currently. Does he have?
He has a last name. He is not cognizant of his last name, so I do not
That's
think
what it
that
is.
Kit would know what it is.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Because that's why I was like, he has Fey name. He has a secret Fey name, but no, but not that she would know.
Azzy. Just Azzy. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know.
Interesting. What does Azzy look like?
It's none of your business what he looks like. Stop pressuring her.
Am I not allowed to be curious?
Kit, are you overwhelmed by the questions?
Yes!
Okay, well then Kega,
I'm
leave her
supposed to
alone.
be talking about this!
Okay, well then Kega, leave her alone.
The way you're asking makes it feel like it's a bad thing to tell you anything.
Will
I'm
someone
just a
hug
curious.
her? Wrap your arms
Don't
around
worry.
her.
Don't worry, Kit. you need a warrant to talk, to ask questions.
What's warrant?
You can also always lie.
True too.
Oh, yeah,
I like
I've been
warrant.
practicing that. Verena told me it was okay, and so I'm
Try
trying
it.
to learn.
Do it now.
If you need tips, I'll give you some tips.
Thank you. I
Well,
think I'd
we
like that.
probably can't. We probably can't lie now, Kit. Now that
Okay.
we've said it out loud, we can't lie
Okay,
to.
see, this is something I've learned now about lying. I'll make a note.
Oh my goodness, I'll make a note.
Don't you just love them, Kega? Aren't they great?
They are interesting. Do you mean the princeling, the prince brother?
Do you know him?
Yes, I know of him. Why don't you tell me more about him? What's your favorite thing about him?
She just said she was overwhelmed.
I'm not pressing her. I'm just talking to her. She doesn't have to answer anything she doesn't want to.
Well, she doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
Have I done something wrong?
Are we being detained?
Well, that's for Kit to say. Kit, did she do something wrong?
Think I know. I don't like it that you guys are fighting.
We're not fighting. We're just having a discussion.
You don't seem like it's a happy discussion.
Sometimes emotions aren't happy.
Oh, I know.
Well,
It's
then you
just-
must be able to relate. See, Kit, your friends here have put me in a little bit of a frustrating predicament, and I don't mind helping. But I do have the questions of why should I be helpful? And I was just hoping you might enlighten me. I know that we are doing a task given to us by Verena. So I'm just a little bit unsure as to the nature of the relationship and exactly how they've come to acquire you.
Well,
Why should we convince
Anybody
you? You already
acquired.
agreed to the task.
I did, but what? Am I bad for wanting to know more about my cargo?
I mean, Kega, if I could be very technical with you, technically we weren't told that we were going to be getting help from a girl. We were told he was going to help us.
Oh, he doesn't control the ship anymore now, does he?
I don't know.
And she looks over to Rogan and she says, Rogan, who's the captain? And Rogan says, Kega, you are the captain. I'm not challenging you. So, you will be receiving help from my ship. It may be her connection, but it's my doing. So, if anyone gets to ask questions, I do think that I'm allowed.
I don't know. Whenever I ask Verena questions, she says that because she said so is enough of a reason.
She is difficult to trade information with, isn't she?
I would never say that about her.
I would. God, she loves to kick too.
She does love to kick.
I think my stomach is still bruised.
Captain, is the only way to get to the other layers by ship?
Correct. You will be needing my help as much as possible. So, in turn, I would just like a little bit more information about what it is that you guys are doing.
Oh, well, I can tell you that.
Go on then, speak.
We have to go speak to, I don't know, Mother, I think was her name. She's supposed to tell me how to get my memories back.
Okay. At the mention of that, I would like you all to roll an insight check.
I dropped my dice. Wow, that's a really fucking good insight.
Fuck. Nat 1 for a 7.
Fuck.
I got a 27.
Yeah.
Holy
24.
shit. Holy shit. 10?
Proficient.
10.
I would say anybody who gets higher than a 15 would be able to see that at the mention of Mother, Rogan looks anxious. You see that his posture becomes significantly more rigid and that he kind of tightens up for a moment. And she says, well, it's a hell of a ride to Avernus, but we'll see.
I want to speak in his head with
Mhm.
the telepathy.
Mhm.
And do you know her?
Yes, and we shan't be going back.
Can you tell me more about that?
If I say it answers the questions from before, would that be enough?
For now, perhaps.
You can see he's kind of like nods to himself standing there. And for everyone who is catching this, you can see that he looks really nervous for a moment and then just slowly begins to nod to himself. I mean, the sailing should be treacherous the entire way down. It's never stops raining. The wind continues to blow. It's always the worst to traverse, but once you get past the second layer, it's usually a much easier event. How long did you agree to transport for, Rogan? To which Rogan looks over and he says, well, the tiger girl told me that it would just be completing the necessary steps for the contracts that have already been put in place. To which he says, oh, so prolonged then. There's no exponent of time. And he says, I don't know, Kega, however long it takes us. If we can get there fast, then we get there fast. I don't know. I'd tell you if I could see more of where we were headed, but unfortunately I don't have that. Kega looks irritable by this and is just like, well, I only have time to stop by Avernus for but a brief moment, and then we will be leaving again. There's no way to safely drop them off and bring them back into and fro. I didn't agree to be a fucking taxi cab, Rogan.
I don't think you're taking us back. I think you're taking us to multiple places.
And she says, how much did she give you? And Rogan says, a profitable charitable amount. And she said, and what did she promise you? And he says, nothing I haven't been forthright with before. And he says, you know, and looks over towards, roll a perception check if you're in the room for me.
I think Lova is going to automatically fail that because she's going to lean down to Umbrielle and say, what's a taxi cab?
22.
I got a dirty 20.
His eyes flick over to one of the planks on the floor. And you both catch his eye movement.
Interesting.
What did he say right before that?
He said, you know, we've discussed it. And then he looked over at the floorboard.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You hear from slightly down the hall, Wanda raises her voice and says, I want the sneaky one next to me. I'm going to keep an eye on her. And you see that they are in the process of setting up your guys' cots.
Oh, cots. Oh, that's really unfortunate. I'm sorry, guys. That's just
You're
me.
sleeping
That's
on the floor.
Yeah.
that was just me talking, not Manya.
Uh,
You're sleeping on the floor. It's not much better.
I don't think
I think
Captain.
here we are going to take a quick break real quick, though, to run to the restroom, and then we will pick this right back up in just a jiff. I finished all my coffee.
Action.
Jeb takes 10 damage as an arrow slams into him from in front.
Adventure.
My definition of dangerous is anything that gives me butterflies.
Backflips?
I think if me tries to do a backflip, he should have disadvantage on the pure fact of not having a spine that moves.
This Spells Disaster is a live play TTRPG podcast currently playing the campaign Tears of Aurelian, a homebrew campaign by our dungeon master Nathan using the D&D 2014 rule set.
He's quaking in his little boots that he doesn't wear.
I just want to watch Spittle eat mashed potatoes.
Join the party known as Vertically Challenged as they traverse the lands of Aurelian in search of missing children as chaos, misfortune, and dragons find them at every turn.
That's your job.
We know it's a dragon or whatever.
Join us as hijinks and shenanigans ensue in each and every episode of This Spells Disaster. Check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
Just what we need. A musician.
Hell yeah. Welcome back. We're back.
Welcome back. So we are going to jump right back into it. From underneath the deck, you can see that they are in the process of setting up little cots and sleeping arrangements for you. Kega continues to kind of ramble about, like she goes off on a little bit of a tangent of, you really should next time that you decide that you're going to make arrangements without really mulling it over with me first. The next time, please just consider how long of a time frame you're signing us. To which Rogan is like, I apologize, Captain. I thought that it was the best option given the payout and what we need. You can hear, Captain, a yell from above the deck at this point in time. You see Kega kind of looks up and over her shoulder and starts to walk towards the top of the deck.
I'm gonna call out to her before she leaves. Captain, can I have permission to go above deck?
Sure, follow me.
Thank
And
you.
she kind of briskly, forcefully walks out of her room and up the steps, kind of not waiting for you, but still on some you're supposed to be behind me kind of thing. So she hustles to get in front of you and then runs up the steps.
All right, I'll fall into step behind her.
Okay. You see Jameson is up on the top of at the very front bow of the ship, and says, "Look over there. Something's wrong." And you can see this almost tiny blue flitting spark of a light just dancing across the surface of the water. Kit, would you have gone up as well, or would you have stayed down underneath ship?
Probably if it was just Dahlia trying to go up. If nobody else went, then Kit would have stayed with the group.
Okay.
She might have look, make sure everybody's okay as they're going up.
Right.
But if she wants a minute alone, she can have it.
Okay, perfect. You then miss what Dahlia sees, which is this little blue spark that kind of skips across the water like a skipping stone. You're able to see tiny little ripples, like it's just jumping across. And he's like, "Something's not right, Captain." As the little blip looks like it's getting closer and closer to the ship, he's like, "It's gaining on us." You can see Kega's takes out this long spyglass and pulls it all the way out and starts to peer in the distance of the water. And she says, "Well, I'll be." As this speedy little blue creature continues to run alongside the boat. Looking at it, and as your eyes focus in on it, it's tiny, about 2 feet tall. This little tiny humanoid fae, super slender, running and an incredibly fast pace. So fast that as he makes contact with the water, you see the souls are trying to reach up and grab them, and they're just missing him. He's so quick that he's just dashing around the hands of all of the pieces of soul that are compiling the water. And for anyone who speaks Sylvan, you can hear him yelling at the top of his lungs, "Wait up! Wait up! Wait! Hold on! Wait up! Wait! Slow down! Whoa! You forgot something! Hold on! Wait!"
What's he saying?
You're downstairs.
Oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I thought I was up.
I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want them to know that I can hear that I know what he's saying.
Okay. You hear Sylvan come back off of Kega's lips. "Identify yourself." "Message! Message from the Queen! Message from royalty! For the White One!"
I'm a tiefling right now.
"It's for the White One!" And it's running as fast as it can. You see this little tiny, like brownie-sized, tiny little pixie fairy-looking guy. This is a quickling, and your memory jostles to some of your youngest memories. We're talking the ones you're not even sure if you just have heard the stories or if you are truly remembering it for yourself. A creature of the Feywild, running full speed behind you. And you hearing Kega speaking in Sylvan tongue. "All right, let him on." You see as Jameson looks over at her and raises an eyebrow, and she says, "Let him on!" And he throws a rope out, kind of trailing behind the boat, and you see the quickling is running as fast as it can to run across the water, and all the while doing like dips, dodges, and pulls, trying to avoid the random things that are trying to snatch him off, like Frog on the Pond. And he is able to run up and cascade up the rope, and he runs along the banister of the ship and then stops really abruptly in front of you and does a curtsy bow in front of Kega and looks at you and says, "Here you go, ma'am." And he holds up the mask that you had commissioned.
I'll bend down to take it from him. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
And I'll say it in Sylvan.
Perfect. Hold on, I have to roll something then.
That's probably not a good choice, but I will.
Okay, cool. So, you see Kega gives a nod over and says, "What's that, my friend?" to the little quickling, to which he responds, "A new right of order, mistress. See you soon." And she says, "Wait, don't you want your payment?" And you saw as he says, "See you soon," he's already going halfway down the rope, and as soon as she says, "Do you want your payment?" he pivots back up and he's holds out his hand very firmly. She presses a small golden coin into his hand, and he takes it and he bites it, and you see it snap in between his teeth, and he sucks the chocolate out of the gold coin that he has. He notoriously likes sweets, so he's in the process of like nomming the chocolate out of the metal part, and then you watch him like chew on the aluminum-y piece of the metal that holds the chocolate and eat that as well. And then he's rubs his hands together and he says, "Thanks," and he starts to book it off of the ship. You you see he starts to run off of the ship and runs back immediately next to you. It looks like there's almost this indecisive, like flea brain type of chaosness to this creature. And he jumps back up. He says, "Oh, she has a message for you. She wants to let you know. Give her a call if you need her." And then he whips back around on his heel and is back out into the middle of the water again.
Okay.
Yeah. He leaves you there with this. You flip it over in your hand now, and you can see all of the details that you had asked for on your mask. It seems that that half-orc gentleman took everything you said and heard it exactly as you said it. You see it crafted in front of you, a beautifully ornate mask that's simple and plain in some lights, and then when you turn it you can see that it's composed of all of these very intricate little metal workings. So it has this sheer look to the front of it in one part of it, but then if you tilt it in the light you can see that it is layers upon layers of fine metal.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So and it is beautiful, finely crafted, and definitely anonymous.
All right. I'll inspect it for a moment and then I'll put it in my bag.
Excellent. You see that there is, as you flip it over and kind of look, there is no longer the mask that you were used to, where there is a bit that you are supposed to hold inside of your mouth to keep the mask holstered. Instead, this one has a very almost perfectly shaped to your face kind of imprint to it, and it looks like it latches ever so slightly behind the ears.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it leaves you plenty of space to speak with your mouth.
Okay, cool. I'll look over at Kega and I'll say, I guess thank you for paying the courier for me.
Of course, nothing here happens for free.
Then I owe you something in return?
She looks back down at the door where everybody is currently sitting. She says, "Are you close with the siren?"
Um, more so than the others, but we've only known each other for a day or two.
Tell her that you don't think I'm as bad as she does. Give me a little bit of a break.
I don't know if that is worth its equivalent exchange to what just happened.
Well, then I guess you'll continue to owe me.
I'll think about it.
She gives her kind of like a soft smile. This is the softest you've seen the captain be. Um, there's a level of flirtatiousness that is coming off with this exchange, but also a level of appealing to you as someone who she thinks has sway. Uh, and she says, "I'm really not that bad once you get to know me.
Should I get to know you?
Would you like to?"
I don't know. We'll be journeying together.
The
Always room for
gas
more friends and
Tiffany
allies.
just gasped. The gas Tiffany just gasped. I heard downstairs.
Yeah, I'll tell Kega, well, we can always use more friends and allies.
Well, I am a fantastic ally to have, I assure you.
We'll see.
Uh, she gives you a very genuine looking smile. Roll me an insight check.
That's a nat 20 with, I think, a +9. Yeah,
Oh, she
29.
is she can't bullshit the bullshitter. She is buttering it up, and it sounds good. And she sounds sweet in this delivery. But you can tell that she's in total control of the conversation and that she is trying to pull one over slightly, to get on the good
Yeah.
side. Definitely schmoozing. You're not you are a flirt in your own right. You are not unaware of female prowess. She's trying to use her female wiles on you currently and is playing sweet and considerate and cutesy. With hopefully gaining something.
Yeah,
But
I'll play along.
she's playing it real cute. Um, I'll be sure to make sure that they give you extra bedding.
Well, I wouldn't want favoritism in front of my group now, would I?
We could do it behind closed doors. And then she gives you a wink and continues towards the front of the ship.
All right, when she walks away, I'll look for like a quiet, secluded place to go pray.
Excellent. You find your way more towards the back of the boat. You can see that in the process here, um, there's this almost demonic looking fellow towards the back of the ship here. Tiefling as well. But it looks like he has some sort of wings to him that he is keeping tucked underneath of a like shawl or cloak. He is not talking to anyone. He is currently gathering rope around his arm and trying to like clean up the deck area. And as he sees you walk over, he goes and moves that like big pile of rope off to the side and kind of moves away from you like, who are you? You have a small piece of deck to yourself currently.
Okay, so I'll kneel down and I pull out my prayer book and I'll read through the evening prayer and just go about it.
Okay. And as you kind of close your eyes, and you reach out, can you roll me a religion check, please?
Yeah. $23.
Okay. Now that you are out of your goddess's realm, it feels hard to reach her. There's this level of like dissonance and like reverberation in the back that is almost, it makes it sound like you're talking to someone who's in a bathroom who has you on speakerphone. There's this like incredibly loud to it, like it's hard to connect. But you manage to do so. You feel the spell take place. And as you are reaching out and saying the prayers, you feel as you hear Aerith's voice in the back of your ear, saying them alongside of you. And you kind of blink your eyes and you just see her in front of you, standing, as if she too is on the ship, like an astral projection right in front of you. And she says, I see you got your delivery.
Yes, thank you, goddess.
Yeah, of course. I would ask of you, continue to keep your ruse up if you so choose. Just know you don't have to.
Would you prefer I look like something else?
I just want you to be aware that we are proud of you the way you are.
Thank you.
Of course. I haven't given too much direction to the others in regards to ways in which I expect you to traverse this area, and the further you go down, the more difficult it will be for me to reach you. It's
Oh no.
imperative that you keep them on task. What was it?
I just said oh no when she was like, I won't be able to reach you. I'm like, no. um, I'll try. They're a weird bunch, but I'm no stranger to keeping people in order.
I have another request. An exchange was made without my permission. Verena and Azeroth have seen a mistake. I would like for you to correct that mistake.
You cut out. Can you say that again?
It seems that Verena and Azeroth have made a mistake. I would like for you to correct that mistake.
I'll do anything you ask. What is the mistake that needs correcting?
It's of the most important, and I cannot stress this enough. This must stay secret. My children have gone above my head, so to speak. and have made an exchange for an item most precarious, or rather, items most precarious. I believe we are missing a series of gems. Little blue stones, so to speak. Uh, and I believe that they were traded in the exchange to bring you guys where you need to be. Now, I had my own arrangements, and that was not part of them. However, it seems that my spawn have gotten the better of me at this point. Now, I cannot come to retrieve them myself, as I'm not allowed to leave the realm. I would ask that you bring those with you on your journey. And when we collect you at the end of your journey, that you return them back to us.
Were they given to many people or just to the captain and her first mate here?
You see that she closes her eyes and she says, "It seems that only the captain and the first mate know where they are. So, you may have to do some prodding to figure that."
I can do that.
Excellent. I believe, and she's looking like through, in her mind, someone's eyes. She says, "I believe the blind fellow may have the answer."
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Excellent. And Dahlia, don't get caught.
Of course. You can count on me.
Excellent. Do you have any questions for me before I go?
I did have something I was wondering. Your domain here in Limbo. Why did you make it a circus?
I was asked to. My husband, he's childish, but he's good. So, you'll find in relationships there's a lot of give and take.
Okay.
Plus, it's kind of fun.
It was very fun.
Additionally, I'm not sure how aware of my tenements you are, but I know that you know that life is a stage. And it's all about how you perform.
Am I performing well so far?
You have always performed well.
Thank you, goddess.
You feel a very motherly like kiss on the top of your forehead. And then as you kind of blink again, you see she is no longer standing in front of you and has dissipated from view.
Okay, I'll just sit there for a moment, absorbing everything, then put my prayer book away and go back downstairs.
Additionally, you feel the mask that is in your satchel, like almost like a vibration to it when she is close by.
Okay, cool.
You make your way back down the steps and you can see that people are in the process of bedding in. Wanda is outwardly flirting with Umbrielle. You could see "Honey, you are just such a doll. Look at your little face. Where? I've never seen a dress like this before." And she's like touching your bare thigh. Like she is not afraid to be like a dog.
Oh my god.
Yes, girl. Yes, Wanda's is a trip. She's got her like corseted big old triple ditties like bustier almost up to her throat, and she is just fawning over you and doting on you and talking to you, and she's like, "I always had a thing for shorter people. I like them small. I like someone you could throw around. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I mean, I like being thrown around too.
Well, aren't you just the cutest? And you see, she's like, oh my God. You know what? I think I might have something for you. And you see her rooting around in her cabinet, like looking for something. She's just really flustering it up with you, flirting, doting on you, and being very much like almost like too southern hospitality. Like, aren't you just the sweetest? She produces from her nightstand little a little handful of like it looks like black Orbeez. And she says, "Now these will help you if you get hungry. You can take these on the road with you because you know we got a lot of traveling to do, and they're really good for just like a quick pick me up.
What are these?
Sustenance, honey, sustenance.
Sustenance. Okay. What sort? Like, am
I
I
call
going to
them
be like allergic to them or what?
I call them poppers, but you can call them whatever you want. They taste really, really good, like a fruit candy. And you just need one, and you are satiated for the full day. Because you need a little meat on your bones, honey. You're a little small.
She thinks for a minute and is like going back and forth, like, oh, should I? Shouldn't I? But ultimately, she's like, I'm already dead, so like, what's gonna be the worst thing? And she just pops one.
Hell yeah. It tastes like a fruit gusher. As you bite into it,
Yeah.
there is definitely some sort of syrupy type innard to it. And with that, I'm not typically sure if you have to sleep for normal 8 hours or to get a long rest, but because of Fae stuff, normally Fae only need like 4. I would say that it brings it down to like 2. It's like a 5-hour energy.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So you have a little bit of the jitters. You feel yourself a little buzzy, a little poppy.
All right. Like, how many do I have?
5 in total, but you just ate 1, so you would have 4 now.
Sick.
She would say, "Careful, don't take too many of them, or you won't sleep for."
All right, I'll be sure of that, darling.
Yeah, and if you want to stay up and chit chat, I'll be here for you. And you see, she takes one out of your hand and puts it in her own mouth, and you watch it like hit her tongue, and she does like a little. And the both of you are now sitting on the bed, starting to feel the effects together. Yeah, that's right. I made Dungeons and Dragons poppers. That's fine.
Okay.
All the while, as this is going on, you see that Mari has done what she does best and has sat and waited and been quiet and waited and faded into the background. Uh, she is currently looking as best as she can through the shadows, sneaking around in other people's stuff currently. Though all of you would not be able to see her as she is one with the shadows. And then remind me when we have the wonderful Alimar back with us to tell her what she found. Because I will forget. Thanks. You all bed down for the night. Is there anything that anybody would like to do before you guys go to sleep for the evening? Or Umbrielle, your unrest for the evening as
Yeah.
hopefully Wanda keeps you up and awake?
I'm going to continue partying with Wanda and see if she
Hell
can
yeah.
throw me around a little bit.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell.
I have a message that I want to send, but I want to very specifically wait for Kega to get back before I send that message.
Okay. Um, she's only on the deck for but a moment while she supervises. And then is able to recede back down to where you guys are and make sure that everyone is tucked in. You can see her end of the night shift does not seem the same as everyone else. She's in the process of like closing down the ship and making sure that everyone has everything that they need restocked and kind of being like a little bit of like a micromanagey type boss. Like she is really running through everybody's stuff currently. So I would say that it's probably a good 15-20 minutes of like downtime with you and Rogan and all of your friends underneath the ship before Kega returns. Besides Dahlia, who is upstairs praying.
I'm gonna send the message like right before we like go to bed, so like Dahlia is probably at her cot and everything, so that way I'm not like disturbing her.
Okay.
But I think like she's sitting there and like they're getting ready for bed and she goes, "Oh shit, I forgot my promise." And she chooses to send a message instead of like using telepathy and like sends a message to Dahlia. "Dahlia, I know I said I was going to teach you music every night, but I forgot about tonight. Can we do it in the morning?"
You shouldn't break your promises, but I'll give you an exception today.
She's gonna send another one. "No, I swear I won't break any more promises. Just this one time. There was a lot of emotions today."
Okay, that's no problem.
That's it. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make sure Kega was there.
Okay. All right. So, in this moment, you can see that there are you can see that there are frustrated sighs coming from Rogan as he is unable to sleep, and you can just hear him kind of rumbling and rolling around. As you send this message, he is looking at you and looks a little bit confused as who you would be messaging. And then you're like, "Dahlia, I'm so sorry." And you can see that there's a sense of comfort on his face, like, "Oh, okay." Kega is laying in her bed, not under the blanket, on top of the blanket, and she is going to be staring at you.
Who's on the floor? Is it me?
Rogan,
Oh,
Rogan is on the floor. And you are on the floor, but on a pile of blankets that put you like, it's like Princess in the Pea style. It's like 4 or 5 blankets thick. So it's like you got, a couple half inches above you, or below you rather, where he is.
That's so funny. So we both just decided to not sleep in his bed. I love that. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. We're so stubborn. Oh, she has to hate us.
So he is full of unrest, but is facing away from you, and is just like, you could see him like rolling, 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 and she is locked in, staring at you.
I think
and like you could see her in the like low light, like eyes pierced.
Since he just keeps rolling, I think I'm gonna take one of the blankets out from underneath me and just like drape it over top of him. Not his face or anything. I'm not like trying to cover him, but just like maybe he's cold.
That's so sweet. You drape the blanket over top of him, and he looks up at you, and all you can see is just like the dark bandage across the top. And he gives you a little bit of like a wry smile, before turning back over.
Cute. I think she'll glance over at Kega after that, just to see like if she's still watching. Weirdo.
You can see that gesture of kindness seemed to have upset her. So she is in the process of like she like sneers at it. You catch that she's upset about it, and then you watch as she rolls over.
Oh my god. I think Mania's just gonna roll her eyes and like just close them.
Okay. As sleep finds you, you have this moment where you drift off and you see your body suspended in this like transparent type of cellophane looking plastic. And as you slowly sink in and you can see the weight of it, you watch as your body rests on this invisible barrier. And then from above you, you can see this tiny, far away speck of light that begins to cascade closer and closer to you, followed by another and another. And as your eyes try to make up this shape in the darkness, you can see the entire sky is Kega's beating heart. The sinew and tendons pulse as the sky shifts. And those tiny beads of white that you had seen, as it starts to come down, it's little granules of sand. And they start to hit you in the face. And you're staring up as this heart turns to dust above you. And it starts to rain granules of sand and dust and rock on you. The cellophane that you're in starts to take more shape around you. And as you sink with the weight of this sand starting to pile on top of you and almost bury you in this space, you feel yourself starting to rip through the plastic and like slowly start to feel the sinking feeling. You shift to your left and your right and you put your arms out to your side to try and hold on to the sides of the plastic here. And you realize that it's this smooth glass-like shape, and no matter where you reach out in front of you, you can't seem to get away from the rocks as they fall. You can see an hourglass. You are trapped inside of an hourglass, and you are doing your damnedest to not fall down the hole as the granulars of sand begin to smash around you.
I have something for that, I think.
Okay.
I want to start... Can I use Eldritch Blast on the glass to break myself out?
Mm-hmm. You could try.
Okay.
So you shoot off an Eldritch Blast, and you try to manifest the magic, and it's nothing. You reach out your hand with your incantation, and you know the words, but they're not coming out of your mouth. You try and speak, and just dust comes from your throat, like when you had no vocal cords at all.
Oh no. I think she's just gonna start banging on it. Like she's just
Okay. Roll
all
a
of her
strength check.
force. Oh, that's actually pretty good. Hold on. I mean, my strength isn't great, but that's not a bad roll. Oh, okay. Well, it's a 14.
A 14. You bang with all of your force that you can muster. Your muscles are tensing against this. It feels like glass or like you're trapped in some sort of inflatable balloon. Like that, there's no solidness to it. And as you're punching as hard as you can, you feel your fist just graze off of the sides. Like it is not doing nearly the damage that you would hope it would. You fidget around and try your best to kind of break through, banging both fists on the side. And as you do, you just find like plasticky like surface. Like there's no way to really get through it. All the while, you're about hip deep right now in sand, and you feel like your singular foot is being tugged through this tiny little hole. Like you might not be able to pull it back out. Like your shoe is almost stuck in this quicksand-like expanse. You try and speak, and you cannot. You see a figure beyond the plastic, out in the space of things. Not up, but to your side. Like, you're reaching, like you can try and punch through it, but you can't get anywhere. But you can see that there's a shape just distorted out of the lens of where you can see, with the sand and the dirt moving around you, this like sort of sand cloud type expanse. It's hard to make out what the figure really looks like. Roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, that's gonna be really okay. Listen, it was an 18 on the dice.
Okay,
Where's my perception?
you got this.
It's very hard on the phone.
I know.
Oh my god. Okay. 25.
25.
Mm-hmm.
You see the figure of a man. Big, stocky shoulders. Kind of a pointed face. The nose comes down and is flat on the bridge and has almost like a bestial appearance in the front. You can see jet black hair that's long and wet looking. It looks like his face has a series of like braided beard hairs that have all been tied down into one gathering of a knot down here on his chin, and it spreads out like a billy goat's goatee. He has big yellow pupils that are square just like a goat. And as he walks closer to the plastic, you hear, "You are useless. Without me, you are useless."
I think she just starts banging again.
Mhm.
Because that's frustrating.
Mm-hmm. As you bang, roll me another strength check, but this time with disadvantage.
Okay. 10.
The sand begins to exhume you. You feel yourself unable to move as your secondary foot gets trapped now in the muck of you trying to pull up. You can feel your whole left leg is being like ripped from underneath this hole down deeper into this hourglass shape. And you are trying to fight against it and to punch against the plastic, but the more you move, the more sand feels like it is coming and filling in the space around you. You begin to try and breathe, and the sand is packing in so tightly into this little hole that you can feel the pressure around your chest. And he says, "Oh, my little siren, don't you know what you've signed up for? You're my little agent of chaos. I still have work for you."
I think she tries, as long as like no more sand comes out. I think she tries to yell out like, "Please."
The please comes out. You hear your voice. It rings in your ears. And yet it sounds so small and crushed against the glass. Like there's a barrier, like this plasticity has made it difficult, muffled for you to hear the outside sounds. It's as if everything's kind of shifting around you, trying to through it through a grainy sound. You sink further. Your chest now buried. Only your shoulders and one arm is free currently.
I think that she's just gonna try again, be like, "Please, will you please get me out?"
You look up and you can see around you the sand that has been falling this entire time, this heart that has turned into this pulsating, rocky, broken, ashen thing. And you see it start to twist in a circular motion like a lid coming off of the top. And he looks down at you. This figure clear now. You can see dark features, a pointed, toothed smile, the wet tendrils of hair that hang down look either greasy or covered in blood or ichor. It is hard to tell, but you can see there's this wet, dripping fluid that is coming off of him. He wears a series of chains around his body, almost wrapped. He's scary. He is wrapped in chains. He has this like fucking thick chain that's wrapped all the way around his waist. You can see his pants are like, it's almost like a kilt looking kind of adornment, a very skirt like type of kilt, but long and open on the sides, but look like they connect at the ankles like pants. His chest is white, like very pale, bloated skin, and you can see that there's a series of gills on his rib cage that open and close as he's breathing.
Oh, that's cool.
He's got a long fin on his dorsal on his back that kind of sticks up off of his back, and he reaches a big scaled looking hand out to you. The hand is monstrously, the huge claws that come off of it. Roll me a perception check just to see if you notice it.
It's a natural 20.
Okay, you do notice it. The entirety of his palms are covered in these weird teeth-like suction cups. And as he reaches for your hand and you reach up to grab him, you see the mouths of what looks like 1,000 leeches on his hand as he reaches to grab for you. Do you want my help?
Oh, she thinks that's so cool. She's reaching for his hand. Damn it.
Fuck. Roll me a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage, please.
Okay. What number is that? Okay, are you sure disadvantage?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
You reached up and you touched.
Okay, that's a 5.
Great. You feel the little leech-like teeth sink into your hand and create this almost blood bond as it like presses little daggerish types of membrane teeth into your palm. You can feel almost like a dark pulse of energy hits your hand, and your hand starts to turn from your normal Maniae hand back into your Sea Witch style hand. And you can see that perception that you had rolled before, where you had been able to see the little tentacles on the hand, the little suction cups, you're able to see that your hand as the sea hag is very similar to this hand. The elongated claws start to show as you guys make your like predator type grip and contact. You can see your hand starts to transform into the type of hand that is holding you. And as he pulls you from the sand, you feel yourself getting narrower and smaller, almost like when you roll a noodle out. And it's significantly thinner at the bottom. He pulls you from the sand, and you can feel in your palm the beating heart of Kega in your hand. And he says, "Don't you want to remember?"
Who are you? And I think that she's gonna like try to like let go too.
You try to like pull your hand from this grasp, and as you do, he lets go of your hand and the hand separates, but all the little mouth suckers stay stuck to your hand, and you can see there's like little rings of like blood as you're trying to pull away from it. It's like this suction between the two hands. It's keeping you from pulling. The little teeth are hold and stuck into you. And he says, "Oh, little Ravina, don't you remember? You've read my book. You have a jolting memory where you are ripped back into your library, and then you're young and walking, and you can see the locked gate, and you're sneaking, and you're pressing through the locked gate, and you're getting behind the closed door, and you're walking, and you see the book in front of you. And he says, "It's some of my best work, don't you think?" And you remember your brain fracturing in this moment. The moment where you had accepted your pact. The chain sliding off of the book and making a loud thud to the side, allowing you to flip the pages, to open, to read. They call me many names. What do you want to call me?
Oh, God. Oh, God. I think I need a moment on that one. No, I think she's too taken aback. I think the memory has, like, jolted her too much. I think that she's, like, trying to back up a little bit, but not too far, because she doesn't want to fall back into the thing. I think she's putting dots together. She's very much not answering him.
He, as you kind of step back a little bit and you're trying to remove your hand from, you feel this like wet tentacle feeling slide around your midsection and grip you up around the waist and pull you closer to him. And he says, "No, no, you are mine, and I'm going to need you of chaos." And you see both in this moment, as he's like holding you very close, he grabs you by like the back of your head, it feels like a hand in your hair, and directs your head to look further out past the crumbling heart and sand of this this broken looking hourglass. And you can see, coming from like a granular path, Kega and Rogan fighting each other. Versions of them continuously fighting each other. And he's one where he shoots her, she shoots him, he dies and gets stabbed, one where she gets stabbed, and they are just fighting, and as soon as they drop one another, they come back, reanimate, and start again. And he says, look what you do to people. You ruin everything you touch. You're perfect.
What?
I need you to do what you do so naturally. Just keep fucking everything up.
But I don't want to fuck things up.
But you were born for it.
But why are they fighting? Make them stop.
That can't be done. As they continue to drop and fell one another, you can feel your heart hurting for both sides. No matter who is at a loss here, you are stuck feeling frustrated.
I think that she wants to yell out to stop.
Okay.
And she's trying to like get out of the tendril.
As you try and pull from it, you see, you scream out to stop. And do you try to cast any spells to aid you in this moment? Or is it just like you screaming and fighting out? Because that would have two separate things, and I'm trying to make sure I give you the.
I don't even think I have any spells that could help with that, so she's just like yelling.
Okay. You keep yelling to stop, and you watch as this black tendril-like spiral continues to spin out beneath them and replace them like soldiers on a chessboard. And every time they just continue to find one another. And he says, "For as long as you serve me, I'll never stop. This will never stop."
Well, then I don't want to serve you.
You don't have another choice.
Why not?
Because it was already put into print long ago. This is your purpose. You're heading somewhere. Do you know?
I don't know if I should tell you.
I think you're going to see an old friend of mine.
Are you the one who has my soul?
Why, yes, dear. Isn't it obvious?
Oh. Fuck.
Are you the one that has my soul? Oh, fuck.
It's a genuine reaction. I mean, who wouldn't react that way?
When you see her, the one they call Mother, put an end to her.
Isn't she a god?
And aren't you my chosen?
Well, I don't know if I could kill a god.
Would you be crazy enough to try?
You see that she like thinks it through. Well, I guess it would depend on how she treats me, to be honest.
But haven't I treated you well enough?
I don't know. I can't remember anything.
Let me see if we can aid you. You have a huge flash of memory. I will go over them with you after stream of what you do remember and don't remember. But you have a good chunk of your memories flash to you. Make an insight check for me, though.
Okay. 24.
24. You can tell that he is only showing you bits and pieces. There's like chapters that he gives you. Very loosely on a timeline, you have a quick memory of your time on the beach with Kega laughing and drinking and having a good time. And then you have the realization of the endless trigger warning for anybody who has gun violence issues. Feel free to take your headphones off. You remember a series of painful shots to the legs and stomach area while you were currently tied to the mast. It is something that was erratic and strange, and you remember the aggression behind it. You remember the brutality behind it, and you have a hard time shaking the look of Kega looking at you. But with that high of an insight check, I will say something still feels off about that moment. Something there feels like foggy or half true. or confusing in some way. Like you can tell that it's her, but you can't tell if the memory is organic or being fucked with in some way. Something about it feels thoroughly wrong.
Do I remember like who else was there? Like, am I able to
You
see their
remember
faces and everything?
you remember Wanda. You remember other people on the ship. You have a pang in your chest as you remember Seamus. And then there's confusion, like a blank of what happened and why. So he's only giving you back bits and pieces, and you can tell that there's definitely missing pieces of the story. But from what he's showing you, there's a lot of aggression that was taken out on you from this captain. So you could put your headphones back on if you gun violence sensitive.
It seems as if it's still not all there. Something my father would do. I guess I'll just have to call you father.
I'm gonna need a second to compose myself. This is a warm shirt, I tell ya. What? Yeah. Hell yeah. The guy says, hell yeah. No, he doesn't. I say hell yeah, but the guy doesn't say hell yeah.
That's right, I fluster a god.
That's very funny. You fluster me often. You see, as you say that, he says, fair enough, child, if that's the issues you so speak.
What are you going to give me if I try to do this?
Freedom.
From what?
From all of this. From life, from death, from heaven, from hell. Why play by their rules?
Well, then where does that put me?
With me.
Would I be
Here. And you see a starry expanse behind you. This ever moving type of galaxy where up is down and down is up, and you're having a hard time orienting yourself as he walks across the cosmos.
I don't want to be here.
Well, where would you like to be?
And she'll look over at both where Kega and Rogan were to see if they're still there.
They're not. It's just endless expanse of stars.
Well, I think I wanted to be with them.
So you can ruin them permanently.
Well, if that's what I was made for, I suppose.
You were made to be an agent of chaos. You were made to be a seed sown throughout the world. You were made to be a disruptor of the material and beyond. You are made in my image.
And I think that she chooses to not answer that. I think that she even goes as far as to close her eyes because she doesn't want to. I feel like being in this galaxy thing, whatever, is really kind of woozy. So I think that she even just closes her eyes, trying to get out
You
of
try
there.
and close your eyes, and all you can see is his little yellow goat eyes staring back at you, square pupiled. And you open your eyes, you see him in the expanse.
I don't want to be. Can we go somewhere else?
He looks at you and sits you down on what looks to be a city expanse. Everything is this muted gray color. Almost like it's made up of like just untextured, unformed clay.
Well, I suppose this is slightly better. How do I know if I can even trust you? I don't even technically believe in gods, but I use the titles because you people seem to get very whiny about it.
So, don't call me a god.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the first part of my question. How do I know I can trust you?
What other choice do you have?
Well, that's...
You aren't very powerful without me. How do you think you've made it this far?
It doesn't seem like I made it, to be honest.
Haven't you? You're back with the two people that you wanted even after death. Isn't that making it?
I don't know.
You've already been given grace, Ravina. It's time you start collecting. It's time you grow up.
Ugh, that is something he has said. That's annoying.
You have a duty, and you back into laying on the furs, staring at the ceiling as if you are awake in the... He said, the lights must be snuffed. Perfection must be decayed. Order must be dissolved, and the minds must be fragmented.
I'll think about it.
Don't think too long. And you shoot up in bed. Like you start to like jump awake. And as you do, you pull your hand from Rogan's hand, who is asleep, which kind of jostles him a little bit. It looks like he had tried to grab out your hand while you guys were asleep.
I think that she's like taking a couple of like deep breaths first. Probably is like looking up at the ceiling still, just like maybe even like darting to different parts of the ceiling, just trying to like take in her surroundings.
Mm-hmm. As you start to try and like level your breath, you can see that Rogan shoots up as well. And he's, are you okay?
I think I got my memories back, and well, I think I feel angry.
Manya, your hand. And you can see as he is like in the process of like straightening himself up, the hand that he had let go of has all of these strange circular marks on it, like bruising, it looks like, directly in the center of your palm and over all of your fingers.
Oh. Well, looks as if it wasn't a dream.
What do you mean?
Can I tell you something that I think is probably going to sound crazy, but I need you to believe me?
Mm-hmm.
I opened a book when I was little and I think I sold my soul.
You hear a cold voice throughout the darkness. To who?
We didn't get that far. Can I try and see if I can remember any names from the book?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. What roll is that?
Roll me it would be a religion check.
Ugh, fuck, okay. Oh, God. 14?
So you don't remember any of the gods' particular names per se, but you do know that in the book it says there's quite a bit of talk about the multiverse and the felling of Palor and something called the Dawn War is something that you would.
Okay. I don't think that's anything that I would want to give away to Kega, because I assume the cold voice is her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That he didn't. He. Something. Didn't give me any names. Told me to call it whatever I wanted.
Let's talk more about it. I'll have questions for you.
Was that Kega or Rogan? You kind of cut
That
out
was
a little
Kega.
bit. Do I remember why I killed her?
You do. You would remember getting a letter given to you from somebody on the ship in regards to a potential engagement or affair that was going, is how you
Mm-hmm. Do I remember the who?
Roll a d20 for it. We'll say 1 through 10, no. 10 through 20, yeah. Or well, 1 through 9, I guess is.
13.
Okay. So, yes, you remember Augie had been the one to pass you the letter.
Oh, no, do I remember who the engagement was with?
Oh.
But it is nice to know who gave me the letter too, so thank you.
Yeah.
Want me to roll another D20?
I would say you do remember. You remember the title, but not the name of the queen. You remember the title of the queen, that it was signed to the queen or from the queen, but you do not remember what her name was.
Okay. And she said that she will have questions for me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have questions for you too. So I think I remember at least most of what I have forgotten.
Good.
I don't know how good it is, but okay.
It was good to me. And then she'll be quiet and kind of fall to rest.
Rogan, what do you remember of my death? Were you there?
No. I wish I was.
That's strange, because you were before. At least I think I'm remembering that correctly.
We've traveled before, yes. I don't think.
I think that she'll move over to her telepathy.
Uh-huh.
Because she doesn't trust Kega.
Okay.
Well, we did more than travel, but you can call it what you want, I suppose.
I think that he would chuckle and say, I wonder what you truly remember then. I would say, because I definitely want to have the whole party here before we pick up next session, that I might wrap it here just before the dawn of the new morning.
Okay.
So that way I can make sure that everybody is around and available.
I think that before we go, I think that she asks him to, like, lay with her. Because, I don't want to say she's frightened, but, like, she's like, I feel disturbed and uncomfortable. Will you lay with me? I don't think I can go back to sleep.
Roll me a persuasion check.
It's just lay. It's not weird.
It's just lay. It's not weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird unless you make it weird.
Yeah.
We're just friends, unless you make it weird.
Whoa, I'm not trying to make it weird, bro. That's a dirty 20.
Oh my god. Okay. You see, as you kind of, as you convey this, he takes his, like, really meaty arm and kind of pushes you over in the blankets and lays flat next to you, but doesn't hold you or anything. He's just laying next to you, straight like a board, on his back.
Okay, that's fine. She can do her own cuddling thing. I mean, she's got her head kind of, like, pushed up, like, here's his side, and she's got her head, like, right here.
That's very cute. So, we will say, for the sake of expediency, you guys find yourself to rest, so that way everybody can start the next day with a full rest. And we will pick back up here on our next adventure. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and I'm really excited to be jumping back into the story. I am so excited for next session. Hopefully we'll a little bit of a surprise for you guys in the near future. So thanks for bearing with us. Thanks for being here, and we can't wait to see you next time. Ta-ta for now.
Bye.
Bye.